Recently, I was working on a technical problem at work, and so I opened up Claude Code like I normally do, typed in the problem, and within a couple of minutes, I had a working solution. And then I sat back for a second and realized that I wasn't sure if I could have solved that problem myself. Not because that problem was super hard, but because Claude Code has kind of taken me out of the game. I'm a senior data scientist, and this kind of problem solving and critical thinking is literally what I get paid to do. And somehow I feel like I'm losing that ability because of AI tooling. And that is what this video is about. There's a concept in cognitive science called skill atrophy. The basic idea is that the brain operates a lot like a muscle. Neural pathways that get used regularly stay strong and efficient, and pathways that don't get used weaken over time. This isn't a metaphor, it's measurable at the neurological level. But neuroplasticity also works in reverse. We can lose skills that we spent years developing. And with AI tooling, the question is starting to emerge, are we losing our ability to think? Even our big institutions like Harvard and MIT are starting to investigate this phenomenon. A recent MIT Media Lab study reported that excessive reliance on AI-driven solutions may contribute to cognitive atrophy and shrinking of critical thinking abilities. So the question isn't whether skill atrophy is real. It is. The question is, are we utilizing AI tools in a way that triggers this skill atrophy? And I think the answer in large measure is yes. Let me tell you what this actually looks like in my day-to-day. In my work, the pressure is velocity. With AI tooling being so ubiquitous, the possibility that my company gets disrupted is higher than ever. And so right now in industry, shipping fast is how you demonstrate value. And AI makes me considerably faster. I can hand over a technical problem to Claude Code and I can get back a working solution faster than I even had time to think about the approach. And that's the thing. I used to have to think through the approach. That process of sitting with a problem, coming up with a mental model, thinking about certain solutions, iterating, finding when you've hit a dead end, coming back and iterating again, that is how you sharpen your skills. But now that entire process can get skipped. I can go directly to AI, get a solution back, review it quickly, implement it, and move on. I'm more productive in every measurable metric, and somehow I feel like I'm getting worse at the thing that I'm supposed to be good at. Even a quick Google search shows that other people more broadly are concerned about the exact same issue. And taking a quick pause, I genuinely want to ask you if you are feeling the same way. Maybe I'm just in a weird little tech bubble and outside of my space, you guys aren't feeling the same sentiment. So leave a comment below if you are or aren't. I'm really curious about other people's experience around this. Now, of course, I'm not going to tell you to stop using AI. That's not realistic, and honestly, it's not the right answer. The goal is to make sure that these tools are working for us and not the other way around. So here's what I'm actually doing to try to offset this skill atrophy. And I have three main strategies. The first strategy is deliberate cognitive friction. The idea here is solving problems without AI. Not because AI can't solve the problems, but just to keep the skills alive. Like doing mental math even though I have a calculator on my phone. Like I said, in industry right now, the pressure and the priority is on velocity. And so I can't go back to the caveman days where I didn't use AI. And so how am I implementing this in my day-to-day work life? The first part is that if I have something that I know how to do, that I can do relatively quickly, I just do it myself. I don't bypass it to AI. This helps to make sure that I'm keeping my fundamentals in check. It's like doing free throws or something, just getting those basic repetitions in to make sure that I'm not losing the most basic and fundamental skills. The second part to this that I'm trying to do a lot more of is I don't just go to AI, go to Claude Code with my problem, with context, and ask it to solve it for me. I make sure that I'm actually sitting with the problem and coming up with a solution. And so what this looks like is turning Claude Code on plan mode and telling it, this is what I want you to do. This is step 0, step 1, step 2, step 3, and making sure it understands the order in which I want it to tackle the problem. This also helps me to maintain a certain level of confidence so that when I go into meetings with stakeholders and with leaders, that I can answer any questions that they have. If they have questions about the implementation of the solution, of why not this and why this, did you try this, did you not try that, I can say yes or no and I can answer intelligently because I'm the one that actually designed the answer in the first place. I didn't just take it from Claude Code. These two things inside of my work environment are helping to make sure that I'm keeping my hands on the wheel. My second strategy is building from the ground up. Right now, I am enrolled in an online master's program in data science, and one of the big reasons that I enrolled in this program is because I wanted to make sure that I had a very strong base of the core concepts in data science. It's so easy just to go on ChatGPT and get an answer to a question, but if I feel like I can truly explain and build up an idea from the ground up, then that's a signal to me that I do have a strong understanding, one that AI won't be able to replace. And for those of you that aren't engaged in a master's program, doesn't matter. You can definitely integrate this in your life. The key piece is just being able to recall the information on your own. And my third strategy is to make sure that I'm articulating what I'm actually thinking. If you're like me, you probably have really brilliant, original shower thoughts, but then you go to try to convey that thought to a friend or write it down in a journal or something like that, and it doesn't sound nearly as profound as it was in your head and in the shower. The reason for that at a high level is because our brains are really good at keeping certain ideas and thoughts really low resolution because there is an entire background of knowledge and of memory and of history and all this kind of invisible background stuff that feeds into the thought invisibly. There are holes and blind spots that you'll find when you really try to put language to your thoughts in this full and expanded way. That's partly why I'm making these videos and this channel is because, like in this video, I have this vague impression from my experience in the world that AI tooling is causing my critical thinking ability to atrophy. And without really fleshing that idea through and stretching and pulling it and really expanding it, then it just exists as that vague idea. And so I really encourage everybody to really try and articulate your thoughts, either writing them down in a journal or even having conversations with your friends. It's so helpful to just organize your mental place, organize what you're thinking, and that will really serve you. The through line here is that AI is very good at giving you answers, but it is not good at helping you come up with your own answers. The strategies that counteract skill atrophy are the ones that force you to generate, not just receive. The cost here isn't visible in the output. The cost here is visible in your capacity. How much are you able to do when the tool is not available? And the question that I really think is worth sitting with is, are you building that capacity? Or are you trading it away passively by utilizing all of these AI tools? Thank you for watching this video and for making it this far. Again, my name is Justin. I'm a data scientist. And in this channel, we're going to be talking about the consequences of AI on humans, on work, and on society. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, please consider liking and subscribing and following along on the journey. Thanks for watching.